The strategies and the systems that I've built have helped over 250 of 300 tour business owners from all over the globe build their companies, get more direct bookings, diversify the channels through which they acquire customers, remove the unhealthy reliance on OTAs or other resellers, and just basically completely transform the way their business runs. And for the past decade, I've really had to do that one operator at a time. Coaching calls, strategy sessions, reviewing marketing materials by hand, handwritten game plans, all the kind of stuff that requires me to be in the room. That's all changed because I've taken everything I know, every framework, every strategy, every campaign, every system, everything I use to build my own multi-seven-figure tour business, and I've created a platform. I put it inside a platform that is going to allow you guys to do some crazy, crazy things. And it's a platform that any tourism operator can access and use on their own anytime, day or night. So it's called More Bookings. And I want to show you exactly how it works because the best way to understand it is just simply to see it in action. So I'm going to jump inside and we'll take a look. Right, so this is the platform. You can see there are 8 agents down the left side here. 8 specialist tools. We've got Virtual Josh, we've got the Tourism Content Machine, we've got the quick sales campaigns, referral campaign, nurture sequences and campaigns, list growth strategies and partnership building, the experience optimizer and staff and virtual assistant building teams, everything related to getting support around you to get stuff done. Today, I want to show you the one that sits at the center of everything, the one that most operators go to first and keep coming back to every single week, and that's Virtual Josh. So think of Virtual Josh as me, available 24/7. It knows the tourism industry. It knows the methodology. It gives advice that's completely specific to your actual situation, not just generic business coaching that could, really apply to anyone. So there are a few different ways to use this. There are many, many ways to use this. I'm going to show you a few of them. The first one I want to show you is the one that changes things fastest for most operators. We're going to have a look at this one here, Build My Game Plan. Now, what I've done is I've actually pumped some data into Virtual Josh so I can actually show you rather than doing it in real time. It's going to be quicker and it's going to be more efficient. Earlier, I asked Virtual Josh to build my game plan. It'll ask you a bunch of questions. It came back straight away. Let's get you a game plan and ask me what the single focus is. It gives me a template that we're going to run with. So I told it where the focus is going to be to grow sales. So what we're going to do next, and you're going to see it's going to ask me some very specific questions about my set of circumstances. So roughly how much revenue are we doing a month? What would we like it to be in 90 days from now? So 20K a month now. Last month was 30K. 3 months from now, we want it to be 75K. Okay. It then asks me where our bookings are coming from. For example, gives me some examples, OTAs, direct website, email list, et cetera, et cetera. So I've told it, now this is all just made up stuff. The information you're going to feed into Virtual Josh is going to be far more detailed, specific, and granular. I've just made this stuff up on the fly. It took me, a couple of seconds. So I've said OTAs 70%, direct 20%, hotels 5%, referrals 5%. Comes back with a bit of a comment on the reliance on OTAs. Couple more questions. What are the main one or two offers? I gave it bare bones detail. Yarra Valley wine tour, lunch, 3 vineyards, 195. Then asks me how many seats I could realistically fill, and on average, how many bookings we're getting. That's the answer I gave it. This all happened in a couple of minutes. Okay. Reality check on capacity. How many inquiries could I actually deal with? What is my capacity? So I've got 3 guides plus me. Now, this information was a little bit inaccurate because I'm just doing this on the fly. You can see by my horrible grammar that I'm just punching this out really, really quickly. It's not crafted. It's not scripted. So there's me and 3 other guides. So there's 4 of us total. I want to give people a couple of days off a week. So let's say 24 tours per week is my capacity. Okay. Last couple of pieces of information. What am I doing to drive bookings? While posting on social media, dropping brochures off, running Google ads. Again, just made it up on the spot. How many people are currently on my email list? Got 1,000 on the list, 300 corporate decision makers, 150 travel agents. So off that information, it can build me a focused, immediate game plan over, let's say, the next 60 to 90 days. So it summarizes where I'm at, and it tells me what our targets are for the next 60 days and how we figure we're going to arrive at those targets, the best offer to push. Again, I've just given it bare bones, basic information. You're going to go more detailed, more granular, more specific. So it's going to give you some incredibly more valuable insights into that plan than I've been given here. It gives me the incentive for direct bookings, most valuable client base to chase, first, second, and third, the 60-day game plan broken down into phases, days 1 to 7. Quick wins, because everything we do is about getting cash flowing as quickly as we possibly can. Phase 2, through those next 3 weeks, building consistent direct lead flow, exactly how that's going to happen through both agents, through the corporate market, and through direct to consumer. Phase 3, through those next 23 days, partnerships and referrals. So focusing on getting other people to see us and to sell us, hotels and concierge, the agent list, really doubling down on that and building like an acquisition strategy through agents via, nurture, via referral, and that next period of time between days 46 and 60. So it's given me a detailed, actionable, step-by-step plan that you could really just dial in and get cracking on today in this very minute. The whole thing took me 3 or 4 minutes with made up information about a fictitious tour company. So then asked me, do you want me to know the exact wording? Obviously, I've said yes. And it then goes into detail in building out the specific outreach email sequences that are going to build partnerships and convert into customers. An end-to-end customer acquisition system and strategy based on that little bit of detail I've given it. That's what it's done for me in about 3 or 4 minutes with about 5 or 6 questions. And it's given me that, which is something you could take and run with and get results. Okay, so staying with Virtual Josh. Now, not everyone needs a full game plan right now. Some operators that are a really specific problem that they're dealing with, something that's sitting on their chest that they just need someone to help them think it through and find a solution. And this is where Ask Josh comes in. Rather than do this in real time with my clunky typing and fat fingers, I punched this out just a few minutes ago to give you an example that we can work through to show you exactly how this works. So after clicking on Ask Josh, it said this: let's lock in one thing and solve it properly. What's the single biggest challenge in your tourism business right now? Well, I said, getting inquiries, people aren't booking. I respond, sorry for the typing, I respond to everyone. They just go quiet after I send them the price. It is not going to give me generic advice. You're going to see how specific it is and the clarifying questions that it asks. It's not just jumping to an answer. It's asking the right questions first, because the fix for this problem is almost never what the operator thinks. So watch what it diagnoses. It's asked me, first of all, this is not a people don't want it thing. This is the way that we're handling inquiries thing. So we're going to rebuild that. That's fantastic. So the questions it asks me are, what's the process from the moment someone inquires to what exactly happens? Now, again, I've just made this up in a couple of minutes, so it's very scant on detail. They fill an inquiry form. I ask them for some details about tour preference and budget, send a sample itinerary, never hear from them. Josh responds, clear picture. Right now it's form, question, info dump, silence. So clarified the problem again. Next question, how fast are you replying? And I've said, 6 to 8 hours because we're usually running tours. Next question it asks me, a statement there, it's killing conversion because I'm having to wait so long. And it asks me, when you reply after those 6 to 8 hours, what does the email message roughly say? It's generic, thanks for your inquiry. And I send a template response with the info. I'm not great at follow-up. Okay, that's what I've told Josh. The next question here, when people go quiet, what's the typical price range you've just sent them per person? It's really trying to diagnose this problem. And I've told them it's usually around $750 for a private tour. Here's what's going wrong. It tells me the reply is slow, the response feels like a bot, your price drop the info, but don't start a real conversation. There's no structured follow-up. That's all it needs to diagnose why I'm not getting any response to my inquiries and why I'm not converting. It tells me what the goal is, gives me a simple structure that I can use, a script that I can adapt, a follow-up system of 3 touches. So touch 1, the initial reply, it structures it out in a sequence. Touch 2 gives me the exact outreach sequence I can use. The message sequence, touch 3, and then it talks about speed upgrade without me being at the laptop, how we can actually do that faster and more efficiently and not sound like a bot. It gives me an example auto reply I could use. Then it tells me about the next steps. What would you like me to do? Create a full first reply email template or create that 3 email follow-up sequence? Which one? Well, I said I want both. And that's what it's done for me. And it is created this. There's nothing generic about it. It is specific to my set of challenges and problems. And it's done this in a matter of minutes. You can cut it, paste it, get your VA to plug it in and just transform the way that you convert bookings. And I believe you would see a wild increase in conversion just by doing this. So it's given me specific scripts, specific follow-up timing, and the exact words to use. And this is the difference between getting advice and getting a solution, which was what Virtual Josh will give you. So the third thing I want to show you, and this is the one that separates operators who grow consistently from those who don't, is the weekly check-in. Now, this is the habit that changes everything. So what I want to do, again, is go back to Virtual Josh, and I want to type in, well, click on weekly check-in. So I've asked it to help me with a weekly check-in. It says, Josh, let's do it. First up, how was your week last week? Honest version, not the highlight reel. So this is what every one of you should be doing every single Monday. That's the habit. You open Virtual Josh, you type weekly check-in and spend 15 minutes reflecting on the past week, what got done, what didn't, what got in the way, and what your 3 priorities are for the week ahead. And the operators inside this platform do this every single week without fail. They move faster than anyone because clarity compounds. Every week you get a little clearer, a little more focused, a little more intentional. It's the simplest thing and it's the most powerful habit you can build in your business. What I just showed you is just one tool, Virtual Josh. And that one tool alone has game plans, problem solving, marketing reviews, weekly accountability, plus deep advisory on things like pricing and booking conversion, guest experience, reviews, seasonal planning, and even things like finding new markets. So there are 7 more tools inside this platform I haven't shown you yet. A content machine that writes your OTA listings, your social media, your marketing assets, a quick sales tool that fills empty seats without discounting, an experience optimizer that makes your actual tour better, a list growth tool, a referral program, a referral campaign builder, a nurture sequence builder, a team and systems tool. All of it built specifically for tourism operators, not adapted from like generic business software, but built from the ground up by me for this industry, from someone who knows what works to grow a multi-7-figure tour company. I started my first tourism business with 0 experience, with 0 connections. And, my first year was horrible. My wife and I think we paid ourselves $20,000 at most between us. And we figured it out the hard way. We built that business into a multi-7-figure tour company. And we did it the hard way. We eventually sold it for multiple 7 figures. Everything I learned in that process, every framework, every system, every campaign structure is inside this platform. So right now, you can get access to it and you can try it yourself. The link is below. Claim your access, open Virtual Josh, type, build my game plan, answer the questions honestly, and see what it builds for you and for your business. And I'll see you inside.